This time on IPC Effects, Jamal shares with us his dreams.
I think my dream is that to have a long-term sustainability towards development of our community, our country, and our continent, and also the rest of the world.
Talks about his passions.
Through football, you can achieve a lot of things because you'll always be sure that you'll get support from the people.
Reflects on different points of views.
We should learn more on how to accept other people, how they feel. Media has its own opinion, how they present the news, but also individuals or as a country has its own opinion. So
on this episode, Jamal explains his beliefs.
We have to be self-sustainable. That we have to start things on ourselves because we have resources to generate income generation for ourselves and to make sure that we have these funds to operate the things that we want to change.
Stay tuned with IPC Effect with our host Eleanor Salter.
So, Jamal, we've known each other for 9 months now?
Yes.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about your experience at IPC? What do you feel you've learned about yourself and about, the world in general?
Yeah, I think it's IPC taught me a lot of things. I had just maybe local experience at home, but when I came here, I met a lot of people from different countries because I came here last year for 6 months, and then this year I'm as a student teacher. For 6 months again. So I met a lot of people from different countries of the world, like from developing countries, from developed countries. So when you have this kind of meeting, it gives you a very huge picture of the world. So it increased my knowledge, and also it gave me a very big understanding about this world. So in short, it has I've grown as a person, as a global person.
Yeah. How do you think you're going to sort of use this perspective now in your life in the future?
Yeah, I think the thing is, first of the thing is that I've already learned to be very, very tolerant to other cultures.
Yeah.
But also to know from really people who are really close friends about what their perspective about certain issues is going to help me a lot to use either in my country or in another country in terms of a social campaign or just individual behavior of myself.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you've already set up one NGO. You've kind of been working on that.
Yeah.
Do you have any big plans now? Any kind of what do you really want to make a difference with in the world now?
Now it's because now I've been graduating as a football coach. So I think my dream is that to have a long-term sustainability towards development of our community, our country, and our continent, and also the rest of the world. It's just to use
big dream.
Yes, it's a very big dream.
Yeah.
It's not easy to realize it, but with this knowledge, I want both in the football professional, but also with the knowledge I got from IPC. It's just it taught me, and it gave me I want to have a concept of long-term development through youth from the from the primary life of human beings, and then to have a concept which can also help people as individuals, but also as a community.
So do you feel that it's young people who kind of will make a difference? You want to work with sort of a young generation? Yes,
and I think I will firstly be concentrated in football, because football is kind of a huge culture that because everyone is supporting it, everyone is likes football, so you can concentrate in football, but through football you can achieve a lot of things because you'll always be sure that you'll get support from the people.
So also I was really interested. We were in Global Challenges together,
Yes.
and I guess we learnt so much on an individual basis, but also by sharing ideas.
Yeah.
What did you find kind of the most important issue? You know, did you find what did you enjoy the most about discussing with that, and what did you find, you know, you wanted to learn more about?
Yeah, I think it was one of the best class in my life, because everybody was having different opinions about different topics.
Yeah.
And it was very hard because you know, usually when you have different opinions, it's very hard to come up with a not solution, but to agree with each other. And it was very tough sometimes, and sometimes I was feeling like we should learn more on how to accept other people, how they feel.
Yeah.
Because some people think maybe if you say something, for instance, I can say, for example, if I say in Africa, in Tanzania, that some countries, they have huge influence of our development. I mean, the developed countries. I'm not going to mention which countries, but that's what I believe, and that's a lot of people in my country believes. But sometimes when you say this, people think that you are just living by propaganda. But it's not propaganda. It's something that we know.
Yeah.
We don't have proof for that, but we know that a lot of developed country, they are having very huge influence in terms of corruptions.
Yeah.
They are, sometimes I believe that some country, they are in the media or in their papers, they say that they are fighting corruptions, but without realizing that they are really supporting corruptions. Or in terms of wars.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of that's what I believe, and that's a lot of people believes that a lot of developed country, they are contributing in wars. But when you express these kind of things somewhere, then people think that you are just following propaganda. But maybe it's a good it was a good place to make sure that you also accepting this other people think is propaganda, but also it was a good place to say this is what I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So
kind of sharing your opinions and
yes,
hearing others.
Yes, because also media has its own opinion, how they present the news, but also individuals or as a country has its own opinion. So it's okay to be in one side, but also people should also respect that if someone's saying something is truly happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a massive problem, obviously, corruption, but also having external influences, you know, developed countries interfering in you know, in Africa, in lots of other, you know, developing countries. So it's a really big question, but do you have any idea where you think maybe you could start to make a change? Do you think it starts with government, or do you think it starts at a lower level, or?
It's a very complicated and a complex issue that you know, there's a lot of mixing things with how the developing country and developed country do things in terms of collaborations, because also the developed country has to know that there is a limit. You can interfere in countries, for example, if there is a very big human rights abuses, that's what because it's a convention. But there are some things that you should let the people themselves decide, no matter how much you think it's not the right thing, because it's a challenging, maybe they are not doing the right thing, but sometimes it's good to know the limits, and also not to, because we benefit from each other, that we do business collaborations. So but I'm not blaming the developed countries in this. We have also a lot of problems ourselves. We are some people promoting this corruption inside our governments, like normal people, like normal citizens. But also, if you give a lot of money, like big funds, without a proper supervision, then I think you are supporting corruption. You have to give money, and then these funds, and you have a really proper way on how to supervise it, because it's the funds that you are influencing with.
Yeah. That's a very difficult problem to begin to tackle, I suppose.
Yes.
But you're sort of starting on a community level to try and make a difference, I suppose, in your anti-corruption NGO. So
Yeah.
it's the beginning, I guess.
Yeah, it's the beginning, and for me, it's that it's very hard because it's not easy to get the support from the people. Also, like this concept
So it's
of
changing mindsets
changing
as well.
mindsets, because when you start this kind of campaign, people think, and these NGOs now, they are becoming like profit organizations.
Yeah.
So for me, what my idea and my concept that I want, if I want to apply that we have to be self-sustainable. That we have to start things on ourselves, because we have resources to generate income generation for ourselves, and to make sure that we have these funds to operate the things that we want to change. So this is a very big thing, that to change minds of people, that we should be self-sustainable. And that's what for me myself, I don't care how long it will take, but that's my concept that I want to apply as an individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So coming back to IPC, what do you think has been the best part about, living in a place like this? You've done 2 terms, and you're sort of doing a half term now because you're still living here.
Yeah.
And what has been your absolute favourite thing to do or to experience here, do you think?
I think it's both terms, they have been very good. When I was a student, I met people, and I have going through very good classes, but also for me to come back as a student teacher, it was a very good thing. You have responsibilities, but you still have friends. So it was very good way on how you can measure, or how I can measure myself as a person, or sometimes if you have responsibility, and this I refer as a leader, that how you can decide, how you can make sure that everybody is involved in the decisions. So this is the biggest thing that I've learned here. And then I think I've learned a lot of things throughout my stay here.
That's very exciting.